Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're doing another video today on pizza. We're making a barbecue chicken pizza today, so like and subscribe, let's get into it. Now I need to get something off my chest about making this pizza dough. Here's my pizza dough right here. I got it in some plastic wrap. I make it ahead of time and then I freeze it and thaw it out before. So we're ready to go there now. But let's get into this dough and talk a little bit here. When I started making pizzas and trying to get into this and learning more about bread making and dough making, I did like most of you guys probably did. I turned to YouTube. Now, all the prominent people on YouTube that make pizzas, they seem to want to either use a poolish recipe or like a same-day recipe where you just make flour, you just put flour in a bowl and make a dough and then let it rise and throw it in the oven. Well, that is terrible. I already tried that before. They just come out real cakey and doughy tasting and just flat. It will make a pizza, but it's not very good. So now onto this poolish. All the prominent people on YouTube, they use this poolish recipe, so I started doing it too, and I kind of fell into this trap. Now the poolish is a good idea if you want to save time and you just want to like roll out of bed and make a pizza and grab your pre-ferment and throw it in and mix dough and be ready to go within an hour or two. That's cool. It's totally fine. No disrespect to anybody. It's a good method. You can do that. But here's what I stumbled onto. The poolish, it's still a 2-day method. You have to go the night before and make it and put it in the refrigerator and all that and let it sit. So here's what I'm saying. If you're going to be doing that anyways and letting it sit and ferment, let your whole dough ferment at one time. There's no need to do a partial and then come out and do a second. If it's going to be a 2-day process anyways, just do it all at once. And I stumbled upon that because what happened is I made all my dough and then I made dough balls and I put them in a tray and I slid them in the oven actually with the oven off, and then I forgot about it and I fell asleep. Well, I woke up at about 3 in the morning and I said, oh my gosh, I forgot my pizza dough was rising. So I ran downstairs and opened the oven and the stuff had just, I mean, it rose and all the balls gelled into one tray of just bubbly fermented dough, and it was all coming over the side of the pan. It was dripping down into my oven and it was all over, just stretchy, sticky. But I took that stuff out and just kind of scraped it off with a spatula and remade my balls, and that was the best pizza dough I've ever made. It was totally fermented and it was awesome. So here's what I'm getting at. Do it all at once. All you have to do is put all your ingredients in a bowl, knead it all up and everything, and then maybe give it 15 minutes to rest. And then make your balls and put them in a tray and lay them out. And then just let them sit there for overnight or 8 or 10 hours or something and let it all ferment at once. Now, like I said, when you come back to it, they may have risen and kind of congealed and they may not be balls anymore. But at that point, it'll be really easy to work with. The gluten will be strong. The basic shape should still be there. You can take a spatula and just kind of remake the balls and then freeze them right up. It'll be the best pizza dough you've ever made. So that's the main point of this video. I want to get that out there because, like I said, I fell into the trap of doing what everybody else is doing, and that's never a good idea. You want to do your own thing and learn from experience, and that's what's happened here. I've gotten some experience making dough, and now I've learned to do it this way, and you get a much better fully fermented pizza, much better overall taste, well-rounded. Because, like I said, when I started learning how to make dough, I looked at YouTube, and people were doing experiments with adding different ingredients, different eggs, different seasonings, different amounts of salt, butter, no butter, and it affects the end product, you know, in different ways. All of those different things that you do, it affects the dough at the end. So my head was spinning as far as dough making, and I just started getting into it and learning the best I can. And now I'm getting it down. I'm getting better and better all the time. But I'm going to start fermenting my dough all at once. The whole batch of dough will be fermented. That way you're not mixing in half fermented and half not. Because like I said, if you make a pizza the same day and just make dough and throw it in the oven and let it rise and throw it in the oven, it's not very good dough at all. It just tastes real floury and cakey. All right, so now we have the dough thing settled. Ferment it all at once. I would rather do that. We're gonna be making a barbecue chicken pizza today, just real simple. I got everything ready to go, and I'm gonna try to not make this a 20-minute video. I thought I had bacon to put on this thing, but I accidentally ate all my bacon, and that is easy to do around here. Bacon is pretty good now, I'm just gonna roll this dough out. I'm gonna be using a rolling pin today. I'm not gonna hand floof this one. Like I said, this is just pub style pizza, and let's get making this thing and roll it out here. All right, now people, I got that thing rolled out pretty flat. It's just kind of a small pizza. It wasn't a big dough ball. It's just a quick little deal here. So we're gonna go ahead and add our barbecue sauce, and I really like this hickory smoke barbecue for a lot of things, on pretty much everything anymore, but just make a little base with some barbecue sauce here. And that's more than enough. I might have put too much, but that's all right. So spread that around. All right, so there's our barbecue sauce, and I went ahead and I already fried up some, it was one boneless chicken thigh, just a little bit of chicken. I just fried it up in a pan, and I put a little Cajun seasoning on it. Don't get hung up on that, just fry it in a pan. You could just put salt and pepper on it or whatever seasoning you like. So just add some chicken, and like I said, this was going to be a bacon barbecue chicken pizza, but I accidentally ate all my bacon and I forgot. So we'll make it like this. It's still good. This is actually how I made it the first time I ever made it, and I was amazed. I made it like this because I was out of marinara sauce, so I had to make a barbecue chicken pizza instead, and it's still really good. You could put a little diced onion, a little bacon if you wanted to, whatever you want, but there we go now. So next, we're going to be putting some cheese on here, and I just used cheddar cheese. Again, like I said, I was out of groceries when I started making these, and I was a little hesitant to put cheddar cheese on it, but I did, and it was really good. I didn't have any mozzarella or anything, Parmesan or anything else, so I just put cheddar cheese, and man, it is good. So we're just going to do a little bit of that. And I use sharp cheddar. The sharper the better. For most, some brands are sharper than others, but I find that some of these mild cheddar cheeses, they taste like nothing at all. So you got to kick up the sharpness if you want to get any flavor at all, or it just tastes like you're eating, you know, just eating flavorless putty or something. So I use a really sharp cheddar cheese to get some flavor out of it. Okay, now the last two things I do, I'm going to put a little bit of a fresh cracked pepper on here, and then we're going to give it a little, just a little spice of cayenne on there to give it a little bit of bite on there, just to kind of turn it up a notch a little. Okay, so there we go. The pizza is made and we're ready to go in the oven. All right, everybody, I got this oven at 550 degrees, as high as it will go. And I got my screen. I would recommend getting a screen. That way you don't have to par bake it or anything. 550, and you put it in on the bottom rack. 7 minutes is what I cook my pizzas for. And it's about perfect every time. So 7 minutes, and we will see you shortly. Well, all right, everybody, so there you go. That's how I'm making pizza. I'm doing the full ferment. I stopped doing the Polish. I wanted to get that out there. You might enjoy that yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this pizza. Don't forget to preheat your oven all the way when you're making pizza. You got to turn it on ahead of time. If you turn it on 550 and then put the pizza in, it just won't cook the dough. 7 minutes will go by and it'll still be raw. It just won't cook. So preheat your oven, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one now.